You are not a weak speaker. Your problem is far more dangerous than that. Your mind runs so fast that your tongue simply cannot keep up with it. That's why alone, you feel like a genius. But in front of people, you go silent. But today, you are going to see that hidden gap that stands between your thoughts and your speech. You know that moment? That specific, painful moment when someone asks you a question in English and you freeze. Your mind is absolutely brilliant. It's screaming with ideas, complex thoughts, deep insights. Your vocabulary is actually good. Your grammar knowledge is solid. But when you try to speak, it collapses. Your words come out slow, broken, uncertain. And you're left standing there, frustrated, watching another person fill the silence you created. This happens to you, doesn't it? Maybe not every time, but when it matters most. When you're in a meeting with important people. When you're trying to impress someone.
When the stakes feel high, that's when it hits the worst. Your intelligence vanishes, your confidence crashes, and you become someone you don't recognize, someone quiet, someone small. But here's what I need you to know right now. You're not stupid. You're not incapable. You're not broken. Your brain is not the problem. In fact, your brain is the opposite of the problem. Most people think they cannot speak English, but the truth is far more dangerous. Everyone assumes they lack ability. They tell themselves they don't have a talent for languages. They think their brain just isn't wired for English fluency. They believe their intelligence isn't high enough. But this diagnosis is completely wrong. And this wrong diagnosis keeps them trapped forever because they're trying to fix the wrong problem. The real truth is darker and more psychological. Your mind is actually too intelligent, too fast, too active. Your brain is processing information at a speed that your mouth simply cannot match, and that creates a catastrophic mismatch. That mismatch is the real enemy. Let me explain what's actually happening inside your head right now, in this exact moment. Your brain is doing something extraordinary. It's thinking. But it's not just thinking about what to say. It's doing so much more than that. Right now, your mind is processing multiple layers of consciousness simultaneously. It's thinking in your native language first. That thought forms completely in your mind. It makes perfect sense to you. It feels clear and natural. You can see the entire idea in your native language. But then something happens. Your brain recognizes that you need to communicate in English. So it switches gears. It begins a rapid translation process. Your mind is frantically searching for English vocabulary to match your native thought. It's checking grammar rules. Is the verb tense correct? Is the word order right? Will this sound natural? And while all this is happening, your brain is also processing something else. Fear, anxiety, self-doubt. Are people judging you? Will you make a mistake? What if your accent sounds wrong? What if you mispronounce a word? All of these processes are happening simultaneously. Your brain is juggling native language thinking, English translation, grammar checking, pronunciation checking, social anxiety, and fear of judgment, all at the same time. Can you feel that pressure? That overwhelming cognitive load? That's not a sign you're weak. That's actually evidence that your intelligence is too high, that your mind is too active, that you're trying to process too many things at once. And here's the thing about cognitive overload. When your brain is overloaded, it doesn't function properly. A computer that's running too many programs at once starts to crash. Your brain works the same way. When it's processing too much, it shuts down. It freezes. It can't access the vocabulary you actually know.
It can't access the grammar you've studied. It can't access your intelligence. Everything you've learned goes offline, and you're left standing there, unable to speak, even though your brain is full of knowledge. This is why you can write English perfectly. This is why you can understand English movies and podcasts. This is why you can read complex English articles. Because when you're writing or reading, your brain doesn't have to juggle all those processes at the same time. Your brain has time. Your brain can think carefully. Your brain can access knowledge. But when you speak, the real-time pressure collapses everything. Think about someone who speaks English fluently, a native English speaker, or someone who's become truly fluent in English. What's different about their brain? Are they smarter than you? Probably not, but their brain is processing information differently. When a native English speaker hears someone ask them a question, their brain doesn't translate. They don't think in their native language and then convert to English. They think directly in English. They've done this so many times that English has become their thought language, not their second language, their thought language. And because there's no translation delay, they can speak in real time. They can match the speed of conversation. They can match the speed of their thoughts. But how do native speakers achieve this? Through something that most learners completely underestimate. They achieve it through repetition, through actual physical speaking, through using their mouth hundreds and hundreds of times, thousands of times. Here's what most people don't understand about language learning. Your mouth is a muscle. Not metaphorically, actually. Your mouth is a physical part of your body. Your tongue has muscles. Your lips have muscles. Your vocal cords are muscles. And muscles don't develop through thinking about them. Muscles develop through repetition, through practice, through using them over and over again. Think about an athlete, a basketball player trying to master a jump shot. Can they master a jump shot by studying basketball theory? By reading about shooting technique? By watching videos of professional players? Of course not. They would think they understand the mechanics. They would understand the theory. But when they step on the court and actually try to shoot, they would fail miserably. Because their muscles haven't been trained. Their body doesn't have the memory. The neural pathways haven't been built. A jump shot is built through thousands of repetitions, thousands of attempts, the same motion over and over until it becomes automatic. Speaking English is the same. Your mouth needs training. Your mouth needs muscle memory. Your mouth needs to develop the physical ability to produce English sounds and sentences quickly. But most English learners have never actually trained their mouth. They've read hundreds of books. They've watched countless movies. They've done grammar exercises, but they've barely spoken out loud. Their mouth is like an athlete who's only studied sports theory but never actually practiced. And when the moment comes to perform, everything falls apart. This is why your mind is huge, but your speech is small. Your mind has studied English extensively. Your mind has accumulated knowledge, but your mouth has barely trained. Your mouth doesn't have muscle memory. Your mouth doesn't know how to move quickly. Your mouth is slow and clumsy, and that slowness creates a delay. That delay creates a bottleneck, and that bottleneck prevents your intelligence from coming out. But here's the problem that makes everything worse. Most people try to solve this problem by doing the exact opposite of what they should do. They try to overcome the speed gap by going even slower. They try to be more careful. They try to be more perfect. They prepare every word before they speak. They agonize over every sentence. They're constantly second-guessing themselves. Is this the right word? Will this sound natural? Did I pronounce that correctly? And you know what happens? They speak even slower. They sound even more robotic. They become even more stuck. Because now their brain isn't just juggling translation, grammar, and pronunciation. Now their brain is also juggling perfectionism. Now their brain is demanding that every word be exactly right. Now their brain is refusing to move forward until it has the perfect word, the perfect sentence, the perfect delivery. And that demand for perfection is what kills fluency completely.
Fluency was never about perfection. Fluency is about flow. It's about getting your thoughts out fast enough that your intelligence can shine through. It's about your mouth keeping pace with your mind. When you're trying to be perfect, you're moving at the speed of perfectionism. When you're trying to be fluent, you're moving at the speed of thought. Those are two completely different speeds, and most people are trying to combine them. Most people are trying to be both perfect and fluent at the same time, and that's an impossible contradiction. A native English speaker doesn't speak perfectly. They make mistakes constantly. They use filler words, they correct themselves, they say things that don't quite make sense. But they say them fast, they say them confidently, they say them in real time. And because they're moving at the speed of thought, their intelligence comes through. Even if their individual words aren't perfect, the overall message is powerful because it's flowing naturally. But when you're obsessed with perfection, you're choosing correctness over fluency. You're choosing accuracy over speed. You're choosing to sound like a textbook over sounding like a human. And that choice destroys your ability to connect with people. That choice makes you sound robotic. That choice makes people think you're uncomfortable with English. That choice confirms the false belief that you can't speak English well, when in reality, you're just trying too hard to be perfect. This is the hidden gap. The gap that nobody talks about. The gap between your thoughts and your speech. It's not a gap in intelligence. It's not a gap in vocabulary. It's not a gap in grammar knowledge. It's a gap in three things. It's a gap in the physical training of your mouth. It's a gap in the automaticity of English thinking. And it's a gap in the permission you give yourself to be imperfect. Your mind is saying one thing. Your mouth is struggling to catch up. Your perfectionism is demanding that every word be correct. And in that gap between your mind, your mouth, and your perfectionism, your confidence collapses. Your intelligence disappears, and you become silent. But here's what you need to know. That gap can shrink. That gap can actually close. Not through more studying, not through more grammar rules, not through more pressure and perfectionism, but through deliberate, repeated spoken practice. Through building an actual relationship between your mind and your mouth. Through training your mouth to move at the speed of your thoughts. Through allowing yourself to be imperfect while you build that speed. When you speak the same sentence out loud 100 times, something shifts. When you practice the same thought, the same phrase, the same expression over and over again, your mouth starts to remember it. Your mouth starts to develop muscle memory. Your brain starts to build new neural pathways. And one day, you realize something. You're not translating anymore. You're not thinking in your native language and converting to English. You're thinking directly in English. The translation step has disappeared. And when that step disappears, everything becomes faster. Everything becomes easier. Everything becomes more natural. This is the real journey of language fluency. It's not an intellectual journey. It's a physical journey. It's your mouth learning to keep pace with your mind. It's your brain learning to think in a new language directly. It's you learning to let go of perfectionism and embrace the messy, beautiful reality of real human communication. The moment you stop translating is the moment you start speaking. The moment you stop demanding perfection is the moment you start sounding natural. The moment you start training your mouth is the moment your intelligence finally gets to shine. You're not broken. You're just untrained. And the beautiful part about being untrained, you can change that.
starting right now, starting today. Your mind is already huge. Your intelligence is already there. You've already done the hard work of learning English. Now, you just need to build the bridge. And that bridge is built one spoken sentence at a time. The genius that's trapped inside you is waiting to come out. The intelligence that's been silent for so long is desperate to be heard. And once you understand that the problem was never your brain, once you understand that the problem was always the gap between your thoughts and your speech, everything changes. You'll start speaking differently. You'll start thinking differently. You'll start believing in yourself differently because you'll finally know the truth. You're not a weak speaker. You're an untrained speaker. And an untrained speaker who understands their problem is halfway to solving it. Your intelligence was never the question. Your speaking was always just a physical skill waiting to be developed. And that's the most hopeful thing you can hear, because physical skills can be built, they can be trained, they can be mastered. You have everything you need. You've always had everything you need. If this resonates with you, if you felt that exact gap between your genius mind and your silent mouth, if you recognize yourself in this struggle, please like this video. It matters more than you know. And subscribe to this channel, because everything we're going to create together is about closing that gap. It's about building the bridge between your thoughts and your speech. It's about freeing your intelligence to finally be heard. Leave a comment below and tell me something. When was the last time you felt that gap? When was the last time your mind knew exactly what to say, but your mouth couldn't keep up? Let's build this together. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your intelligence deserves to shine. And your journey from silence to fluency starts right now.